1, 2, gonna shred for you. Hey guys, welcome back to the Bald Shredder channel, and yes, your eyes do not deceive you. I am, in fact, holding here the George Lynch Bones guitar. And having this guitar now is basically the fulfillment of my childhood dream nearly 40 years later. And what we're looking at, guys, is the all-new Bone Shredder guitar from Firefly. I first saw this guitar in the video for Dawkins' It's Not Love from the album Under Lock and Key when it premiered on MTV way back in 1986. So yeah, guys, coming up here in just a matter of months, it will literally be 40 years since everybody first saw the Bones guitar. And honestly, guys, I never thought there would ever come a day when I would have a Bones guitar like that. If you were around back then, you know, like me, I was a teenager, I was in high school, those were my prime years, I totally lived the 80s, and you'd see all your heroes like George Lynch, Eddie Van Halen, Warren DeMartini, J.K. Lee, all these guys with these like totally awesome custom guitars that you couldn't buy. They weren't available, they weren't for sale, they were just like these crazy awesome custom guitars that you'd look at, you'd drool over, you'd sit there and daydream of like, wow, if only, you know, if I could only have that guitar somehow, if I could buy one or get somebody to make me one, but it just wasn't possible. It's not like now where they have all these like signature series guitars. Yes, they had some, eventually they had more and more, but you know, like in the early 80s, like not so much. And this guitar in particular, the Bones guitar, this was never like an official ESP George Lynch signature model that you could buy. I think there might have been some versions that were made in Japan at some point, and then of course in recent years, George has made some copies of this Bones guitar under his own label, the Mr. Scary guitars. But here's the thing with that, guys. If you want George Lynch to make you a Bones guitar with Mr. Scary on the headstock, made by George Lynch, of course, that's gonna run you around, I don't know, $7,000, $8,000 or so. And then you've got this one from Firefly, which is totally awesome, by the way, and it sells for $269. I mean, come on, are you kidding me? And I know there have been like versions of this guitar that you could buy on AliExpress and places like that, you know, over recent years. I've seen them, I've looked at them, I've thought about like buying one, but I was always really hesitant because I just had a feeling that the quality wouldn't be there, especially with those like Floyd Rose tight bridges, the ones that they put on those AliExpress guitars. I just thought it's not gonna be very good. It's gonna be like a huge disappointment. So I always held off, and I'm really glad that I did. So what we've got here, guys, is an ash body, a roasted maple neck. Look at that, beautiful. You can see some figuring in the neck. And then we've got a rosewood fretboard, 22 frets, jumbo stainless steel frets with the rounded ball ends, impeccable fretwork. Did I say that right? Impeccable. Yeah, low action, no fret buzz, compound radius. I mean, it's just crazy, all the features on this for such a low price. I'm not even done, guys. It's got a real Floyd Rose bridge. This is a made in Korea Floyd Rose bridge. And yes, it functions, it works great, it works well, it stays in tune, it returns to pitch, no issues with the Floyd. Except one minor detail, and that's if you use it a little bit, enough, it starts to loosen up right here, which is kind of a common thing with some of the more inexpensive Floyd Rose bridges. And yes, guys, I do know that you can solve that by either putting some plumber's tape in there, or they've got a replacement bar that you can buy that basically fixes that issue. And then the pickup. This is a custom Alnico 5 pickup, and yes, it's hot. When it's in the full humbucker mode, it comes in at 14.9K on the output. But you can also do this. push-pull to split the coil. And when you do that, you're getting like 7.5K. All right, guys, now before I go into more details on the guitar, you gotta hear it, you gotta hear me play it, you gotta hear me shred on it, because I said I was going to. And being that this is one of my dream George Lynch guitars, and if you don't know already, I mean, George Lynch, Dokken, one of my favorite bands, one of my top 2 favorite guitar players, like big influence, inspiration, all that stuff. So I love George Lynch, I love Dokken, that's why this guitar is so important to me. So for this jam, of course, I had to come up with something that's like very Dokken-ish, very George Lynch-ish, if that makes sense. All right, check it out. All right, guys, what did you think about that? I think this pickup sounds great. It's got the output, it's got the power, it's got the clarity. I feel like there is absolutely no reason to swap out this pickup. And one of the reasons that I was able to play that jam and play those licks so well and so convincingly, I guess you could say, is because the neck on this is absolutely fantastic. They really nailed the neck profile this time. This has an even better neck profile, even thinner, even more shreddy than the Lynch Tiger guitar that they put out. Talking about this one, guys, yeah, I got this one too. Great guitar, love it, but when I compare the neck profiles and when I put my hands on it and just kind of play it, this one definitely feels a little bit thinner and just a little bit easier to play. Just a little bit, but it's noticeable. So I think they really finally nailed that 80s like shred neck. Now, being that it is an ash body, you might think like, wow, it's gonna be really heavy, because some ash guitars are quite heavy. Not the case with this one. I weighed it and it was about 7.28 pounds. And here's the back, guys. You can see the connection there. There's no plate. It's just got the 4 screws which I like. I like when they do that. You can see this corner is like sort of, you know, sanded down, rounded off, so it gives you a little bit better access when you're up here playing those upper frets. However, guys, there is one thing going on right here that I don't really like. So, see this little knobby part right here? It's part of the skeleton. It's got to be there to look like the original guitar. But what's going on here, guys, is this gap right here, the distance between that and the neck, it is smaller than on like a normal Strat or a Super Strat or a Dinky or whatever. Like, if I compare it to the Tiger guitar, I've got more clearance in here. So what happens is when I'm up here playing the upper frets, or at least when I was first doing it, and I didn't kind of get used to it, the back of my hand keeps hitting this little knobby thing right here. So if there's one improvement that I would suggest for this guitar, and like I think they should do maybe on future runs, if it's possible, just to take this little part right here, and just kind of rework it in the wood cutting process. I don't know how they would do it, but make it so it just kind of like hangs down a little bit more, so that this part right here, so that this clearance from this spot right here to this spot, that should be the same measurement as this right here. And it's not. So like when I'm playing this one, my hand is not bumping into that at all. But that's really the only issue. I don't consider it a huge deal, because after I played it for a little while, you kind of, it's like, okay, now I know my hand is going to hit there, and you kind of get used to it, and then you just kind of adjust your hand posture. But it would be nice if they kind of change that a little bit, maybe on future runs. Okay, bottom line, guys, this is a dream come true for me. I mean, it absolutely is. 40 years in the making, as far as I'm concerned, almost 40 years in the making, for me getting a guitar that I used to just lay there and look in magazines, and it's like, oh, there's a picture of George Lynch holding his Bones guitar. Oh, well, that would be so awesome if I had that guitar somehow, someday. Never thinking that it would ever actually happen. Watching him on MTV. I saw Dokken in concert for the first time in 1988. They were opening for Aerosmith on the Back for the Attack tour, and guess what guitar George Lynch played? Like, either, I can't remember, either it was the whole time or almost the whole time. Yeah, it was the Bones guitar. So, you know, I'm sitting in there. There's me, teenager, bald shredder, still had hair, sitting in the audience with my best friend, watching Dokken, and there's George Lynch, you know, not that far away, up on the stage, just shredding away. Kiss of Death, Mr. Scary, all those great songs, playing his Bones guitar, and just like, you know, jaw-dropping, fantasizing, wishing, and then here we are. I got it. So yeah, dream come true. And also, who can forget that he also played the Bones guitar in the video for Dream Warriors with none other than Freddy Krueger. And by the way, guys, Firefly has come out with 3 George Lynch inspired artist models. So the Tiger, which I just showed you, the Bones guitar, they also just came out with the Wicked Sensation guitar. And unfortunately, it sold out in like 5 seconds, so I wasn't able to get one, but maybe next time, you know, in the next batch, if I'm lucky. All right, guys, so if you're like me and you want to live out your 80s fantasy with this Bones guitar, you always wanted it, the only issue is like, is it going to be in stock when you go there? Right now it's in stock. It's there, $269. How long is it going to be in stock? I have no idea, because the Firefly stuff is notorious for selling out and then not being in stock again for a long time. So it's in stock now. If you want to fulfill that dream like I have, I wouldn't wait. I'd get it now. So of course, guys, I'm going to have that link down in the video description that will take you to the Guitars Garden website where you can look for this guitar. And be sure to let me know what you think about this guitar down in the comments. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time!